Alright, Tiger Nation, here we go with the Edge drivetrain. So let's say you already have your drivetrain built, and the typical drivetrain that we try to go for is a 6-motor tank style drive, where this side of your drive, which would be the right side, operates independently of this side. So as you have your 3-motor cluster on your right hand side, you're going to have gears linking, or you're going to have sprockets linking, which most of you chose to use gears to link the motor power. So you have this one, this one, this one, all combined torque, and so you get an output speed. So what you have is a setup where you're going to have to use multiple motor ports on the cortex, which are going to be indicated right here on your cortex. And these are on the cortex 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if you can see here, you're going to see that 1 and 10 have a built-in motor controller inside the cortex. We try to stay off of these with drivetrains due to the fact that if we burn up the motor controller inside this cortex, that it almost makes it unusable. So if you'll notice, the typical setup has a Y-split for 2 motors. So these 2 motors in this gear train, they're going to be going the same direction. So the number 2 motors on this side of your drivetrain have a Y-split, which is down here. So you put that part with a motor controller to the motors. Then the motor controller goes into the cortex in port 2, which is indicated. That's where you have the stickers on top of your 393 motor. So we have 2 indicated, port 2, it's a Y split, and it goes to port 2, which is right here on the cortex. Then you have your middle motor, which is port 3, which is right under port 2. So when you go to set your motors and sensors up, you're going to call out, a high-speed 393 motor. And with 2, the direction that they want to spin is actually in the opposite of this arrow. So what you have to do is you have to reverse the motor in robot C, which when you go into your motors and sensors setup, you're going to see where you key in the motor, you call out your motor, so it could be front, back, right, drive motor. So that's what you can call it. So these are going to need to go in the opposite direction. So this number 6 motor, if you were to plug it into one of the backup batteries, the direction of spin is going to be in the forward direction indicated by the arrow. So on this side, you don't reverse this one, but you reverse your middle motor. So these are reversed, the front and back, 2 port, and then 3 is in a positive direction. So it's the inverse on the other side of the drivetrain. So this one's a negative, this one's a negative, this one's a positive, this one's a negative, and this is a positive positive. So what you do with the Y split on your right side, you're also going to have to do on your left side, as indicated by the ports. And this will get the drivetrain set up so you can begin programming in robot C. So you have a motor in line with the motor, you have a motor controller, and then you have the Y split, then it goes to the cortex. On 3 and 7, it is not necessary to have a Y split, but you still have to have a motor controller that's taking the PWM signal and sending it out to the 393 motor. So make sure motor controller, Y split, motor controller into the cortex. Port 2, port 3, port 2, port 6, port 7, port 6. This would be your left side drive, this would be your right side drive.